What's up, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB Recap. We have a lot to talk about today. Aaron Judge and the Yankees, they put up a football score, but so did the Red Sox, and so did the Twins. Like, there was so much scoring yesterday that fans across social media were questioning whether or not juiced baseballs are back in MLB. If they are juiced, don't tell that to Shohei because he just hit the hardest ball of his entire career, and if they aren't juiced, well, we should juice them, but only for Corbin Carroll because he's now hitting 8th for the Diamondbacks. All of that and more in today's MLB Recap. We post these every single day, so join the team. We are getting so close to 500,000. I can't wait to get there. Thank you so much for your support. And don't forget, save yourself 20 bucks off on SeatGeek using code Fuzzy. And if you like daily fantasy apps, make sure to use code Fuzzy on Underdog Fantasy. If you're a brand new user, they'll match your first deposit up to $100. So we had a fun game down on the south side. It started off with Jose Caballero of the Rays making it a 1-0 game in the second. Now, soon after that, Eloy Jimenez, he got a single past the infield, and it ended up being a double. Jose Siri, I guess they were not happy with his effort, so they benched Jose Siri. Nico Goodrum, he's in there now. Palacios, he found his power stroke last year with the Cardinals, and he brought it to Tampa Bay. That 3-run tater ties it at 3. That's his 3rd of the year. Austin Shenton, he launched his first big league home run, and I've never heard of the kid, but hey, hopefully he got that ball back, and I hope that he breaks out from here because that's cool. The Rays, they had the lead for all of like 3 seconds when Gavin Sheets, he tied it on a ground rule double to left field. Tampa, they tried to nab Pham at home, but he's in there, so Vaughn, he gets the go-ahead RBI. Mother Nature, I guess they wanted some shine. She took Benintendi's can of corn and turned it into an RBI base knock. It's 6-4 Sox, but Randy, he's going to get his chance, and the clutch king, he has 2 on, and he's Randy Arozarena. So, of course, he's going to clutch up. That double ties up everything again. Fans are going to get free baseball now. We head to the 10th. Rays rookie Curtis Mead, he trotted home on a wild pitch, and Phil Maton, all he had to do was get Benintendi to roll his wrist instead. He threw a sweeper right down the middle, ball game. Maton has been awful to start his career with the Rays. He has a near 8 ERA, but hey, it's the first time all year the White Sox have won 2 in a row, and look at Benny Biceps showing up for an afternoon. So I think that was it for the walk-off, so let's go ahead and get these football scores out the way, shall we? Like, no joke, there was 4 or 5 consecutive high-scoring games. Tyler O'Neill, he had his 8th home run the game prior, so that's number 9. He wants to be in the home run derby, and I'm hoping that we get that with his sleeves ripped off and everything because the dude's jacked. That would be a lot of fun. Tyler then doubled in the 5th, and he scores on some miscommunication from the Cubs. Willier, he now has an RBI in 8 consecutive games. Bobby Dahlbeck, he got super lucky because if the pitcher leaves that instead of trying to go for it and deflecting it, it's probably an inning-ending double play. Cedon Rafaela earlier in the game had an RBI sac fly, so this base-clearing 2-bagger drives his RBI total on the day to 4. Staying with Rafaela, after Masataka finally was put in the lineup, he's basically been a pinch hitter the last 2 weeks. I don't know what he did to the Red Sox front office, but he's not playing really much anymore. Rafaela, he sent one over the monster for a 2-run home run. He had a career-high 7 RBIs, and the 7th one came in the very next frame as Yoshida. His big day continued with his 4th hit. That was an RBI double. David Hamilton made it 13 runs. Now it's 15 runs. Bobby Dahlbeck, he brought both of those guys home, and there's Rafaela's 7th RBI of the game. He had 1 home run and 10 RBIs all season, and he nearly matches that in one game. 1 home run, 7 RBIs. Pablo Reyes, he made it 17 runs on the day. That is definitely one to forget if you're a Cubs fan. The Yankees basically pulled a Red Sox. They popped off for 15 runs. 15 are the juiced baseballs back. Alex Verdugo added to the Yankees home run total. If you guys did not know, nearly 50% of the runs that the Yankees have scored this year have been on the home run ball. That's a 3-run moonshot. Hoskins, he returned the favor with a moonshot of his own, but like I said, the Yankees, they scored 15, so Milwaukee, they're going to need more than that. They're not going to get there. Glaber pelted an RBI double, so 2 more runs are going to score. Rodon, he's up by 6, and he was feeling himself. He struck out Jackson Chorio. He then got Joey Wiemer on a knee buckler. Oswaldo Cabrera, he's been in a big-time slump, so anytime he can drive a run in, it's going to be good for his confidence. The Yankees are now at 7. Make it 9. Aaron Judge is so strong that he can basically get fooled a tiny bit and still hit a baseball 400 feet. Like, he reached for it, but again, his power is legendary. Rizzo, he's getting closer and closer to 300 career home runs. His 4th of the year was career home run number 299, so he's 1 away. Carlos, he was able to air it out because he's up by a million. He was throwing 97 in the 6th inning. Contreras, he waves at it. Then Reese, he looks at a slider right down the middle. He froze him. Stanton, later on in the game, he put the cherry on top. Milwaukee, they sent out Owen Miller as their sacrificial lamb. Giancarlo Stanton is thankful because now his stat line is looking way better. He's up to 6 home runs, 16 RBIs, and a 128 OPS+. The Yankees put up a 15 spot, which was one fewer fewer than what the Twins did to the Angels in this one. Like, you knew it was going to be a long day after that. Soriano, he nibbled the corner for strike 3, but the Blue did not give it to him. So Kepler, he gets a walk. Soriano, he does work out of that jam, but as you can see, the scoring started again in the second. Julian, he played Vasquez for his 10th RBI. Trevor Larnach, he stayed hot. The dude is hitting like 380 in his first 9 games coming off of the IL. And I'm happy to see that Joe Adell, he's also red hot. He ripped another. That's a 2-run blast. He's hitting over 330 with 3 home runs and 5 stolen bases, but he's also made a lot of errors, and he's been caught stealing 4 times. And like, see, right there, that's not great defense. Santana, he's hand-delivered an RBI double because Adell just missed it. The Halos, they left out Jose Suarez, who has been not great, so it's not smart to leave him out there. Kyle Farmer, he turned on a slider to knock home 2 more runs, and we skip to the 4th. Santana, he went yard again. That's a 3-run home run for Carlos Santana, his 3rd consecutive game with the home run. Kepler, he's on the board now as well, his 1st of the year. Kirilloff, he was the only member of the Twins to not have a base hit, but he changes that with an RBI single. Julian, I thought that this was gone, but also I thought that Ward was maybe going to catch it. 2 more score. He had a big 3 RBI day. Jeffers, he was the one that got it to 16 runs. His 2-run home run off of Aaron Hicks sealed the embarrassment. The Twins had a field day. They've won 6 in a row, and the Halos, they're 10-17. Now, I guess the silver lining for the Angels is the fact that they're not in last place. That belongs to the Astros. Houston and Colorado, they were down in Mexico where the ball flies. Like, the air is thinner than Coors Field. So rest in pickles to all of the pitchers' ERAs over the next few days. McMahon, he took advantage of the, again, thinner air than Coors Field. He turned on a 93 fastball for a prodigious 2-run home run, 459 feet. Trey Cabbage, he smoked a double to make it a 1-run game, but I'm just going to show Jordan going way out. McMahon went 459. Jordan beat that by 2 feet. He went 461 feet for a 2-run blast. Tucker, I guess he was feeling hungry. He wanted an Oppo Taco. 410 feet. The ball has 0 friction in the air. I thought that was going to be a pop-up to left. Mauricio Dubon got an RBI single. Rogers, he got there, but he couldn't complete the play. Neither could Goodrum in right field, as Yainer Diaz was thankful. He's credited with an RBI triple. I feel like that should be an error, but that's just me. Pena, he flew around to score. Jose Abreu, he's been the worst player in baseball this year, so seeing him do something productive, that's 2 thumbs up from me. Good for him. Hey, bud, let's not throw that pitch to Jordan ever again. 461 for the 2nd time of the game. Dubon, he doubled. That got Houston to double digits, and Jose Abreu and Chas McCormick, they both singled after Dubon's double. So the Stros, they ran it up to 12. The Astros are now 8-19. Shout out to Ronel Blanco. He struck out 8 over 5 2/3. He was actually pretty good despite the thin air. Some more silver lining for the Angels, and I guess technically for the Astros as well. The Rangers, they are not playing at full strength right now, and I think that Michael Lorenzen kind of stinks as a starter, but that's just me. The Reds, they jumped on Lorenzen early. India's RBI single started this huge game, and wait for it, he was insane. Martini lofted a sac fly right after that, and skipping to the 4th, Jonathan India, he laced a hustle double. Christian Encarnacion Strand scores. I just want to call him CES because his full name is a lot. India, he's up again, this time in the 7th, and the 2021 NL MVP, he's really struggled this year, so a 4-hit, 4 RBI day was very much needed. Will Benson, he's put up some great counting stats despite the fact that he's hitting 198. He pummels a 2-run home run. He has 4 home runs and 5 stolen bases. So again, despite the fact that he's hitting under 200, he's on pace for 26 home runs and 32 stolen bases. Now we get to talk about some pitching because Hunter Green was special. He went out there and tossed 7 shutout on just 1 base hit. He collected 6 strikeouts along the way. He has a 3.6 ERA and an 11 strikeouts per run. Hopefully this is the breakout that we've all been waiting for. Now, after he left the game, Texas, they started hammering the power swing button. There's Davis Wenzel. He's pinch hitting for Marcus Semien. That's his first big league home run. Corey Seager stayed on a slider. He sent one out as a birthday gift to himself. He just turned 30, so again, a birthday gift to himself. Alexis Diaz, he went from twirling his thumbs in the bullpen up by 8 to earning a save. He's got 6 now. The Reds, they're 15-12. The Rangers, they're 14-14. Oh, you thought just because we showed the Reds scoring 8 that you thought the double-digit games were over? No, the Nationals wanted some of that action as well. It was actually a kind of close game for the first 4. Both teams had 1. Josh Bell took forever to throw home, and Eddie Rosario, he apparently just got in there. Well, he didn't, but the catcher dropped the ball, so it didn't matter. He still has not touched home to this second. Oh my, is that Jesse Winker back? That version of Jesse Winker? He sent a grand slam to the second deck. I haven't seen him exude that much confidence in years. It's got to be the hair. Maybe the flow just changes you as a person. He's got 3 home runs and 13 RBIs with the 150 OPS plus. He wanted RBI 14, but Vidal Brujan robbed him, and it's dropped at first base. You got to pick that. So I think it scored an error. It's not an RBI. Kyber Ruiz hit a home run. Nick Senzel, he also found a barrel. He has 3 home runs and 3 RBIs on the year. So every single RBI he has is via the home run ball. The Nationals, they're going to show off the speed now. CJ Abrams, he turned on the sinker. His helmet is going to fly off. Jacob Young, his helmet's going to fly off as well, but he scores. CJ's in there with an RBI triple, his 4th triple already. The Nationals, they're not great, but the future is bright. Now, after all of those games, people were really starting to question on whether or not juice baseballs were back in MLB. I mean, we had 3 teams score 15 plus runs, and baseballs just seem like they're flying this year. Keyword seems. The league OPS and home runs per game are at their lowest since 2014. Now, that'll probably change with the warmer weather, but no, the balls are not juiced. They're not flying extra this year. That's just my 5-second research opinion. If we're talking about bright futures, we're just going to make our way down to the Orioles game, because wait for what Gunnar Henderson did later on. Cole Irvin and JP Sears, they were both basically perfect through 3, but JP Sears, he got roughed up in the 4th. Santander, he doubled down the line. He breaks the stalemate, and then Jordan Westberg, who's kind of come back down to earth recently, he gets an RBI single. Good for him. James McCann, he's always been automatic against lefties, so no surprise there on that RBI base hit. Adley, he came into this game with a 7-game hit streak, make it 8 games. He conquers that dreaded left field wall. All 3 of his home runs have been from the right side, and yeah, you get hydrated, Adley. I love that hydration station thing. Ryan Mountcastle is going to get hydrated as well. He makes it back-to-back on back-to-back pitches, and I guess that JP Sears, he's sent out there to eat innings or something like that, because Mateo, he stole second base, and Sears is still out there, and Gunnar, he doesn't need help with getting Mateo home. That's another lefty-lefty home run. 9 home runs and 6 stolen bases. He also leads the AL in total bases. Now, before Gunnar Henderson hit that, Cole Irvin, he made light work of his former team. He was traded for Darrell Hernandez, who was at second base, so they both played each other, which was a lot of fun. Cole, he was very efficient. He had 4 base hits allowed, over 7 shutout. He also had 5 strikeouts, and also the most impressive part, 63 of his 89 pitches were for strikes, so back-to-back gems from him, 2 consecutive games of 6+ shutout. The Orioles are now 17-9, and the fun part about that, they're tied for first place with the Yankees. Starting tomorrow, the Orioles and the Yankees, they have a 3-game series. The race to become MLB's first team to 20 wins is in full swing down in Atlanta. Both the Braves and the Guardians are tied at 18 wins. Speaking of ties, it was tied 0-0 after 5.5 innings because Tanner Bybee and Charlie Morton, they refused to give up any runs, and things kind of got scary for Morton as Josh Naylor ripped a double. J. Ram's at first base, so you know he's going to try and score. Ronald, he gets to the ball, he tosses it in, and then Matt Olson let it fly. They get Jose to keep it a shutout for Charlie Morton. That was sick. I love good relays. The pitching highlights are about to take over now. Morton, he was outstanding. He went 7 shutout with 6 strikeouts. The only problem is Tanner Bybee, who came in second last year in the AL Rookie of the Year race, he had his best start ever. Well, at least in the bigs, you know what I'm trying to say. 9 punch-outs on just 2 base hits. He also went 7 shutties, so this game was flying by, but things really slowed down in the 8th. The bases are juiced for J-Ram. He's going to have to move those little legs to beat out the double play. He does, and a run does score. Jose, he's going to show off the speed one more time. He steals second, and that nearly got him, but because he's safe, Quan, he's going to score without issue. Arcia, he just missed the tag. It's 2-0 Cleveland. And here comes the Braves. Darno, he hit the chalk. So thank goodness, actually, that it bounced over the wall. Only one can score. That was huge because this would have been a go-ahead blooper. Kelnick, he ties it. But Tyler Freeman, he saves it with a rocket throw to home. He just barely beat the pinch runner, Luke Williams. So that's going to force extra innings. Josh Naylor, he's facing a tough lefty. He doesn't care, though. Quan, he's going to score with ease. But Cleveland, they learned from their mistakes. They kept J-Ram at third. So this means that Ramon is going to get a sac fly. That is their 4th run. Nick Sandlin, he went out there. He's been amazing at stranding runners. And he did just that. He strands a runner. Riley, he lines out. The Guardians are 19-8, 1 away from 20. So we have back-to-back 4-2 ball games. The Dodgers, they're still in Toronto. Freddie, he got the first run home on a sac fly to left. Chris Taylor, he got a hit. He was 2 for 45. I'm not even lying for fun. 2 hits and 45 at-bats. Make it 3 for 46 after that RBI single. Japan, they got to be locked in on their TV sets because we have Yusei versus Ohtani. Ohtani wins. That's the hardest hit ball of his entire career. It's 3-0 Dodgers. I think it was like 119.2 or 7 miles an hour. And now it's 4-0 Dodgers because Mookie is just casually hitting 491 and he's on pace for a 15 F4 season. Glasnow, he was as nasty as ever. He held Toronto scoreless over 6. He had 9 strikeouts before his thumb started to cramp or something like that. He kind of lost command and grip. Davis Schneider, he pelted an RBI double, and you can see Glasnow, he's looking at that thumb as he was taken out. We're going to skip to the 9th, where LA's closer Evan Phillips, I think his controller died because he can't catch it, then he couldn't throw it. Biggio then says, thanks for the RBI, brother. Thank you very much. Now, Evan eventually did get his 8th save. The Jays, they've now dropped 5 games in a row, while LA, they're cruising. They've won 6 in a row. So if San Francisco and San Diego lose, the Dodgers will have the biggest lead in baseball at 4.5 games ahead for first place. Starting pitcher Jordan Hicks continues to be a problem for opposing hitters. That Joey Bart punch-out was his 8th and 4 1/3. He set a career high. He then used that splitter to get Jared Triolo, so he extends his career high. He's now through 6 shutout. He has 9 strikeouts. He needs a freaking run, though, because Martin Perez, he was out there carving for the Pirates, but his shutout was ruined after a Wilmer Flores sac fly. It was an unearned run, though. Hicks, he's trying to go for 7, but he ran out of gas. He leaves, but not before he allowed a single to Connor Joe. Luke Jackson, he tried to relieve him, but Luke wasn't great. He had a single to Jackson Winsky, a walk to Triolo. The bases are loaded, and Tellez, he ties it. That run was credited to Jordan Hicks, so his scoreless outing is over. Camilo Doval, he had an easy first 2 outs in the 9th, but here comes Rowdy Tellez. Michael A. Taylor, he steals second after pinch running for Rowdy. More trouble. This could be bad, but Doval, he snags it. Almost got past him, but he does make the play. Chris Stratton, he pushed this thing to extras. He held the Giants scoreless in the bottom of the 9th. Brian Reynolds and Ke'Bryan Hayes, they were perfectly okay with that because Reynolds got a free 2-run home run. The runner on second rule is still so funny to me because you get free 2-run home runs if you go yard, because that runner technically should not be there. Ke'Bryan Hayes made it back-to-back, and I was kind of shocked to see that that was his first home run of the year. The Pirates, they're up 4-1, and David Bednar, he's been terrible this year, so it's no longer a sure thing like it used to be. Soler, he proved that 435 feet halfway up the bleachers, his 5th. Bednar also has 5 saves as he finally closes it out. That was a fun game. So the Giants fall to 4.5 games back of the Dodgers. The same will happen if the Padres can't get this W, and I mean, they're not going to win. Alec Bohm has been the best third baseman in baseball to start the season. I don't know if it's going to end like that, but this dude is hitting .350 with 4 home runs and 24 RBIs. He's now riding an 11-game hit streak. Later in the 5th, Bryce Harper, he took a walk with the bases loaded, which is a terrible idea because now Bohm is up, and he's even more dangerous with runners in score position, and that was inevitable. Bohm, he found a hole. One scores easily, but Trey Turner, he's at second base, and he's going to give us that vintage Trey Turner smooth slide into home. Bohm is now hitting .354 with 26 RBI. So it's 5-0 for Ranger Suarez, who hasn't allowed a run in like 9 years. Azucar, he sent one deep, and the baby giraffe got it. Like, I know Nick Castellanos made the play, but his choppy legs and awful read was the reason why it looked so difficult. Ranger, he struck out Nando for a 7th strikeout. He then got Manny Machado to fly out. So that's 32 consecutive innings without allowing a run. Take him out. Oh, wait. Okay, leave him in there. He's got 8 strikeouts. Then he gets Campusano to dribble out, and a dude named Egg ruined the streak. Eggy Rosario, he pimped it. Ranger Suarez, his streak was snapped at 32 2/3 innings scoreless. That is insane. He still threw a beauty. 9 strikeouts, 8 innings, 1 earned run. Jeff Hoffman, he's not going to get the save, but he does strike out the side. He was disgusting. Philly, they're 18-10. The Padres, they're 14-16. So just like the Giants, they're 4.5 games back of first place. The Mets were rocking out with their brand new City Connects, and what do you guys think of them? Let me know in the comments. Arenado, he doesn't seem to care. He bloops in an RBI. Goldie, he hit a rocket double, and Wilson, he scores easy. Arenado, he's going to try and score from first base. He's in there. Mason Wynn, he got one through the gap, so Goldie, he scores, and he kind of karate kicks his way into home. I don't know what that was, but it was kind of funny. St. Louis, they scored 4 in the first, and they wanted more. Nolan is going to try and bring home Nolan. Arenado, he's on first base. Gorman, he laced one down the line, and Arenado is running like he's 87 years old with arthritis in his knees. What happened to my boy? Like, he barely made it, but hey, he made it. St. Louis, they got one more on a balk, but the Mets, they got 4 runs pretty soon after. Brandon Nimmo, he grooved a single the other way to score, and Pete Alonso, he's 1 away from 200 career home runs. There it goes. He's the 4th fastest ever to 200, and his 13.17 at-bats per home run is 5th all-time, right behind Bonds, Judge, Ruth, and McGuire. Pete Alonso is an all-time great with the power. St. Louis got another run on a sac fly, but we're going to skip to this because I love Lindor. Why was he arguing? Like, he made a beeline for the grass. Bro, you cannot do that. The express lane, it was widened this year, but yeah, it's not that wide. You can't just sprint on the grass. Lindor, he got his second chance. The bases are loaded, down by 3, 2 outs, and he dropped his PCI. Ryan Helsley, he's at a whopping 9 saves already, but it was a scary 9th inning. Here we go. The Royals at the Tigers. Casey Mize, he allowed multiple runners to get on second and third with nobody out, so Vinny Pasquantino, that dribbler, results in an RBI. Salvi, he dunked in a base hit, so he's at 26 RBIs. It's 2-0 Royals. Michael Garcia, he's been really clutch this year. That's his 19th RBI of the year, but I think 13 of them have been with 2 strikes. The Tigers, they're not going to go down without a fight, though. McKinstry, he lasered one down the line, and Colt Keith, he scores on Zach's triple. Mark Hanna, he stepped up later in the 7th. He plates Jake Rogers, and Kerry Carpenter is insane. He now has 14 RBIs. He ties it at 3-3. The inning isn't over yet. Vierling, he's got some pop, and he flexed it. The Tigers flipped the script. They go up 6-3, and they needed every single bit of that lead because Blanco, he got an infield single. Michael Garcia now has 20 RBIs after he chopped it to Javier Baez. Bobby Witt Jr., he's up with 2 outs, and he does not want to lose. He makes it 6-5, and then Bobby, he's in motion now. He's stealing, and Vinny, he smoked one, but that's baseball. Vinny hit it directly to someone. Vinny, he throws his helmet in frustration. I mean, that's understandable. The Tigers, they escape with a sneaky 6-5 W on Jason Foley's 8th save. Jake McCarthy is now Arizona's leadoff hitter versus righties, and Corbin Carroll is their 8th hitter, but lineup order did not really matter much in this one because Kirby, he was disgusting. 97 got Jake McCarthy. 99, I forgot that Kirby can run it up to almost triple digits. And then 98 gets Marte. He strikes out the side. Arizona starter Slade Cinconi, he was great as well. He struck out 2 in the first. He set down 12 of his first 14, but that efficiency streak kind of ended in the 5th inning. Garver, he doubled, and then Luke Raley knocked him home. Slade, I do want to tip my cap to him though because he was very good. 1 run over 6 is very impressive. He also had 8 punch outs, but that's not Slade. Ty France was happy to see that Jarvis was in there instead. Ty France got a hanging off-speed pitch. That's his 2nd in the last 3 games. I can't show the 8th inning until we show what George Kirby did for the first 7. This was probably his best start as a big leaguer, one of the top 3 or 4. He went 7 shutout. Okay, that's pretty good. We figured that. 2 base hits, pretty good. 12 strikeouts. He needed this in the worst way because he had a 5.3 ERA coming into this one, but that was largely in part because he had 1 bad week, but now he has 3 starts, a 5+ shutout on the season, so again, it was really just 1 bad start that ballooned his ERA. Ryan Stanek is out there now, and he was untouchable before this series, but the speedy Jake McCarthy got to him. Mitch could not cover enough ground. He can't get there, so Blaze Alexander, he's going to score. It's 3-1, but Seattle, they have Senior Smoke. I love that nickname. Apparently, that's what they call Andres Munoz. He had an easy 1-2-3 9th inning for his 4th save, and the Mariners, speaking of 4s, they've won 4 consecutive series in a row. They're now 1.5 games ahead for first place in the AL West. That was a monster recap. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm not going to waste any more of your time. Enjoy the web gems.
Ground ball up the middle, diving stop is Shed. Throw to first. Got it.
Bouncing ball should score a run if Jankowski can beat it, but De La Cruz with the arm.
Launched out towards center field. Lede will take a few steps back. He'll head towards the warning track, leaping.
First pitch to Bobby Witt Jr. Softly hit, and Riley Green.
Softly lined and picked by Bogarts from the outfield. Turns and fires.
Up the middle and off the glove of Torres. He recovers, flips. Got him.
Okay, make a play. Why don't you, Luis Renifo, show off the gun.